الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه ومن استنى بسنته إلى يوم الدين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا اللهم بما علمتنا وزدنا اللهم علما وعملا إنك ولي ذلك والقادر عليه. أما بعد، فنواصل درسنا في شرح بلوغ المرام للحافظ ابن حجر رحمه الله وغفر الله لنا وله ولسائر المسلمين. وكنا وقفنا عند باب الأذان من كتاب الصلاة. So we're continuing now in our class in explanation of the scholars like Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah and other scholars of Bulugh al-Maram from the author Ibn Hajar rahimahullah, and we left off in the chapter of the Adhaan. والأذان في اللغة بمعنى الإعلام عموما، كما قال الله تعالى: وأذان من الله ورسوله إلى الناس يوم الحج الأكبر أن الله بريء من المشركين ورسوله. أذان من الله أي إعلام من الله ورسوله إلى الناس، يعلم الناس أن الله بريء من المشركين ورسوله. So adhan in the language, it means to inform, to announce. Okay, generally any announcement is called adhan, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah At-Tawbah, and adhan meaning announcement from Allah and His Messenger to the people on the day of Hajj, the great day of Hajj, that Allah is free, has nothing to do with the mushrikeen nor His Messenger. But then in the shara له معنى خاص، إعلام خاص بألفاظ أو على وجه مخصوص. And but usually in the text and the legislation, the words have a more specific meaning. Okay, like som. Som means to imsak, to refrain from something. Like you could be talking, like Maryam alayhi salam. Allah told her, so, وَفَقُولِي as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذَا وَقُولِي إِنِّي نَذَرْتُ لِلرَّحْمَنِ صَوْمًا. Say to the people, I have vowed to be fasting. Fasting from what? Speaking. From speaking. But in the, of course, legislation, it's a specific fasting of eating. Okay, but generally, Sawm means any refraining from something, anything. But in the legislation, it's specific, refraining from eating and drinking from Tulu al-Fajr ila ghurub al-Shams, from dusk to dawn. Likewise, the Adhan in the Shara has a more specific meaning, not any call or announcement, but a specific announcement. الإعلام بحلول فعل الصلاة على وجه مخصوص, as the scholars defined it, it's announcement that it's allowed now to pray, and it's a specific type of announcement. Okay, وقولهم بحلول وقت الصلاة حلول فعل الصلاة أدق من لو أنهم قالوا إعلام بدخول الوقت، لأن بعض الصلوات يستحب فيها ويعني يستحب فيها التأخير. مثلا إنسان مسافر كما ثبت عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أنه أخر الأذان إلى قرب وقت فعل الصلاة. ففي السفر إذا أرادوا أن يؤخروا مثلا الظهر أو إلى غير ذلك، فلهم أن يؤخروا كذلك الأذان كما ثبت عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في صحيح البخاري. And the adhan, it means that the call for the prayer being allowed to be done. It doesn't necessarily mean the call for the beginning of the time. Okay, generally for a person who are residents, okay, in a land, their own land, then it is for the beginning of the time. Okay, we always make the adhan at the beginning of the time, even if we're not going to pray right away. But that's the general action and the application of the adhan. The beginning of dhuhr we make adhan, beginning of asr we make adhan, so on. But uh, 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 if one is traveling, you could delay the adhan, as happened. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam delayed it. كان في سفر فقام بلال ليؤذن فقال أبرد أبرد ثم قام ليؤذن فقال أبرد أي أخر حتى رأوا في التلول ثم أذن له فأذن. As Bilal was in the travel and the Prophet stood to make the adhan at the beginning of the time or early in the time, and the Prophet ﷺ told him delay, and he got up again, told him delay until the shadows lengthened from the hills, meaning it was delayed in the door. So then he told him, now you can go and make the adhan. So it wasn't necessarily the beginning of the time, just so we know. So if we're traveling, we can do that. We don't have to say, right, we don't have to stop our travel, and make adhan right on the beginning of the time. Or we can make the adhan later. But we're in our town, then we make the adhan on the time. Okay. قال وعلى وجه مخصوص. And the adhan is a specific form. It's not, you don't stand up and say, as-salah, as-salah, right? No, you say, as we make the adhan, Allahu Akbar, to the end of it. Okay? وهذا الأذان شرعت لسبب، وذلك أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لما هاجر إلى المدينة وصار للأمة الإسلامية دولة وكثر المسلمون وشرعت صلاة الجماعة، احتاجوا إلى ما يعلم الناس بأن يجتمعوا للصلاة. ف صدر منهم اقتراحات كيف نعلم الناس بأن يجتمعوا، لأن كثر المسلمون وتفرقوا في المدينة في شعب المدينة، فكان لا بد من إعلام لأن يجتمعوا. The reason for the legislation of the adhan, it wasn't legislated in Mecca, right? It wasn't. It was legislated in Al-Medina after the migration. And why is that? Because the number of Muslims were a lot now, okay? And you want to come together for the prayer. So how are you going to get all these people and announce to them that let's come together and pray? There's a need. So when that need arose, the adhan became a need for it, okay? So then some of the Sahaba, they gave suggestions, okay, how we should tell the people to come together. Okay, so some of them they said iqtarahu al-buq, the horn. It was suggested that they should blow in the horn. ينفخ فيه حتى يكون له صوت, that you blow in it. وقيل الناقوس وهو الجرس الكبير كما يستعمل النصارى. And it was said a bell, a big bell, the big ones like the Christians have on their church, where they strike it, and this huge bell makes a lot of noise. There was also a suggestion. وقيل بالنار توقد حتى يراه الناس فيعلم أنه دخل الوقت أو حل فعل الصلاة. Also, they said the fire, some of them. So that once the people see the blazing fire, they know it's time to come and pray. ولكن رفضوا كل هذه الاقتراحات لأنها من إعلام المشركين لعباداتهم. فالبوق لليهود والناقوس للنصارى والنار للمجوس. فلما يستقر أمر المسلمين على ذلك كرهوا ذلك، فما زالوا يبحثون واهتموا لهذا الأمر. So, but these three things that were suggested, didn't sit well with the Muslims. Why? Because they're the ways of the mushrikeen. For the Jews, they use the horn At that time, they used the horn to call to their worship. And the Christians, they used the bell. And the fire worshippers, they used the fire. Okay? So there was still discussion. فالآن نأتي لأول حديث في الباب. Now we're going to mention the first hadith in this chapter. هو حديث 71 بعد المئة عن عبد الله بن زيد بن عبد ربه أنه رأى في المنام. So this companion, on this occasion, he saw a dream. He saw a dream. It was Abdullah ibn Zayd ibn Abdi Rabbi. رأى في المنام طائفا يطوف به. That there was a man, رجل يعني يطوف يمشي معه. There was a man who was going with him in the dream. وبيده ناقوس, and he had in his hand, this man, a bell. فقال له عبد الله أتبيع علي هذا? Would you sell this bell to me? I want to buy it from you. فقال ما تصنع به? The man said, what do you want to do with this bell? قال أعلم به للصلاة. So Abdullah said, I want to call the people to pray. He's all in a dream, right? I want to call people to pray with this bell. قال ألا أدلك على خير منه? The man said, should I not tell you that which is better than this bell? تقول الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر إلى آخر ألفاظ الأذان. So the man said to him, better than this, you should say these words that we know. Okay. ثم أتى عبد الله إلى رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم فأخبره بما رأى من هذه الرؤيا فقال إنها لرؤيا حق اذهب فألقها على بلال فإنه أندى صوتا منك. So then the Abdullah, when he woke up, he went to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and he informed him about this dream. He was very excited. This is an option that came to him. So the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, indeed, this is the vision of truth. Because not all dreams are true. Okay, some dreams as will come are from shaitan. But he said this was affirmed by Prophet ﷺ that it is true. And he agreed with it. وَهَذِي سُنَّةٌ تَقْرِيرِيَّةٌ. This is agreement, a type of sunnah that affirms this matter. So he said to him, then go and tell Bilal what you saw. Teach him these words, because he who anda minka sultan, he is louder, but not just louder. Bilal had a loud voice. Well, not just Bilal, but like in ahsan, aydan. It also carries the meaning of a nice voice. Anda or nadawa carries the meaning of a nice sounding voice. And also loud voice. Okay? Because a person could be loud, okay, but the sound isn't pleasing, okay, to the ears, right? But it should be not only loud, but people like to hear it, So it doesn't mean singing though, okay? There's a difference between being nice and singing. Like, because the Umar reported from him and other of the companions that they disliked that the person should sing with the adhan, okay? Because Quran, the Quran is special. We're supposed to make a nice voice, and singing, but what it means to be too much, singing to the point, yani, that for sure, if it's to the singing to the point that it changes the meaning of the adhan or the Quran, for example, mudud, to be very extending the voice, like some qaris, they do Quran, they extend too long, and it changes the meaning of the whole word. Too much extension, also in the adhan, would change the meaning. At the very least, it's makruh to be too much extension of the voice, as Sheikh Muhammad ibn Ibrahim rahimahullah, the Mufti before Sheikh bin Baz, he said ثم التمديد الزائد عن المطلوب في الأذان ما ينبغي. It should not be done to extend too much, because one can have a nice voice without extending, a nice voice, but keep it within the limits of the letters. The letters should be upon its, the form, And of course, for sure, we should not be changing the wording, the words itself. Like some people they say, for example, they say Allahu Akbar. They put like a in the beginning. That's like saying, is Allah the greatest? It's actually that's what it means. No, Allahu Akbar. Okay, or you can say Allahu Akbar. They put the extension at the end. Akbar. That changes the meaning. It's a different word now. It means like a musical instrument. Akbar is like a drum. No, Allahu Akbar. Okay, but it can be nice without changing the meaning. Okay, so that's so he told him go to Bilal and teach him. Then he was, of course, one of the mu'adhinun. He was from those who made adhan. ثم لما سمع عمر أذان بلال جاء فرحا إلى الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم فأخبره أنه رأى مثل ما رأى عبد الله فتطابقت الرؤيان على هذه الصفة. And then when Bilal started to make the adhan, then Umar radiallahu anh heard him. And then he came rushing. And he told, O Messenger of Allah, indeed I had the same dream that Abdullah ibn Zayd had. And I saw the same wording for the adhan. And so the dreams were combining and agreeing upon this form. But nonetheless, the Prophet ﷺ agreed with it, so that's why we do it. So the meanings, the Shaykh then mentioned some of the meanings. Shaykh ibn Uthaymeen, rahimahullah, Allahu Akbar, okay, أصلها الله أكبر من كل شيء لكن اقتصر على هذا اللفظ المطلق. When you say Allah is the greatest, means greater than everything, greater than all things. Okay, that's when we say we should have this feeling يعني يقع في القلوب لما نسمع ونقول هذا اللفظ أن فعلا الله أكبر من كل شيء، أكبر من عمل، أكبر من نوم، أكبر من اللعب، أكبر من الأقارب، أكبر من الأصدقاء، أكبر من كل شيء. فنسرع ونقبل على من هو الأكبر وما يرضيه سبحانه وتعالى. So when we hear this, it should have an effect on the heart that indeed we are going to that which is pleasing to the one who is the greatest. Okay? So we come to the prayer, or we do the prayer, and we don't delay, because Allah is greater than work. Allah is greater than play. Allah is greater than sleep. Even family. Allah is greater. Allah is more magnificent and greater than all those things. And we repeat the same word, Allahu Akbar, to not just emphasize, but to have that effect. Okay? Each time we hear it, the mu'adhin say it, it has a more profound effect on the soul. And then we make shahadatain, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, marratain, and we say ashhadu an la ilaha illallah 2 times. And this means, okay, what is la ilaha illallah? It means la ilaha haqqun illallah wa illa hunaka aliha kathira كما أثبته الله سبحانه وتعالى فقال ذلك بأن الله هو الحق وأن ما يدعون من دونه هو الباطل. وأثبت الله سبحانه وتعالى فقال فما أغنت عنهم آلهتهم فأثبت كونهم آلهة لكنها باطلة ما هي إلا أسماء سميتموها أنتم وآباؤكم فهي مجرد أسماء ليس لها أي يعني حق في الألوهية فلا إله حق إلا الله. And when we hear the word La ilaha illallah, just as a reminder, that it doesn't mean that there's no God except Allah. As some people they translate. There's no God except Allah. No, there are many gods. But it's rather you say there's no God of true God. There's no true God except Allah. Meaning true, the one who deserved to be worshipped. Okay, otherwise Allah affirmed in the Quran He said that, and their gods did not help them at all that they used to worship when the order of Allah came to destroy them, their gods. So Allah affirmed that they had gods. And we know they have gods. And still they have their gods today. So there are other gods, but they're gods of falsehood. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also said, that is because Allah is the God in truth, the deity of truth, and that which they worship besides Him are falsehood. They're just names. Allah said they're just names that you named, and your forefathers, they came up with these names for these idols and so on. Okay? So we say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, thumma naqulu ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And then we testify to the Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is the messenger of Allah. وهذا فيه رد على الجفاة المكذبين الذين يعني لم يؤمنوا برسالة محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، كما أن قوله في أماكن أخرى قولنا عبد الله، في مقابل هذا رد على الغلاة، فإن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عبد فلا يعبد، وهو رسول فلا يكذب، فهو رجل لكن الله من عليه بالرسالة، فلا يجوز تكذيبه ولا يجوز كذلك يعني الغلو فيه ورفعه فوق المنزلة التي نزله الله عليها. So the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the Muhammad. We testify he is the messenger of Allah in this wording. This is a refutation of a group of people, those who reject his messengership. They say he's a magician, they say he's a liar, they say he made it up, whatever. That's rejecting them. And also, in other places, we say Abdullahi wa Rasuluh. We say Abdullah. Abdullah is a rejection, as a refutation of those who raise him over his level. And they say he's like, has the yani nasib min al-uluhiyya, that he has a share in the what is for Allah from worship or lordship. And they raise him and they start to say he knows, for example, indahu ilmul qalam, indahu ilmul lawh wal qalam, as they make famous poems. They say he has the knowledge of the preserved tablet of the qadr, he has knowledge of the pen, and so on and so forth. And they say there's no one I seek help from except him. Where's Allah? Then if they're going to say that, and they call him in his grave, and so on and so forth. These have made him more than just abd. No, now he is on the level of godship. All right, he has powers that are only for Allah. So this is a refutation. We say Abdullah. This is refutation of this exaggeration that no, rather huwa abdun, he is a servant. Fala yu'bad, then he cannot be worshipped. The abd cannot be worshipped. He is a worshipper. And when you say Rasul, this is a refutation. فَلَا يُكَذَّبْ, he cannot be rejected, he cannot be denied. No, must follow him. فَلَا بُدَّ مِن تَصْدِيقِهِ فِي مَا أَخْبَرْ ويعني وتمثيل ما أمر به. Now we have to believe everything he tells us, because ما ينطق عن الهوى, it's revelation. So who Rasul? So we have to believe everything he tells us. We have to do what he orders us to do, and stay away from what he prohibited us. This is Rasul. For anyone who doesn't do this concerning him, doesn't believe him, doesn't follow him, then he is not believing in his messengership. Okay, in reality. وهذه العبودية لما نقول ونعتقد أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم عبد الله، هذه أخص العبودية، أخص يعني العبودية، لأن العبودية على 3 درجات أو 3 أقسام. هناك عبودية عامة، وهناك خاصة، وهناك أخص من الخاصة. When we should know, when we read in the Quran or in the Hadith, the word or the meaning of servitude, being an abd, okay, being a servant, it can mean three different things depending on the context. It can mean a general slavehood or slavery or servitude. It can mean a specific one, and it can mean the most specific one, the most exclusive type of servitude. The general servitude is that for all of creation, all of the creation. كل ما سوى الله فهو عبد الله عبد الله والله هو السيد الملك الله هو السيد وكل ما سوى الله عبد, because indeed Allah is the only master, okay, and everything besides him is a servant. Everything, even the kuffar, هم عباد. لأن الله سبحانه وتعالى قال إن كل من في السماوات والأرض إلا آتي الرحمن عبدا. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, that indeed all that's in the heavens and the earth, they come to Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, as a servant, as a slave. They cannot escape, meaning if Allah tells them to die, they're going to die whenever they want, whenever they're told. They cannot say, no, I can disobey. No, when it comes to the qadr, they're all عباد لله. يعني يعز من يشاء ويذل من يشاء. Whoever Allah chooses. A person cannot become a king from the disbelievers except Allah gave him that position. And they cannot live except Allah allowed him to live. And so on. So they're all servants. This is the general meaning. And when there's a more specific meaning for the believers, when we say, for example, al-ubudiyya al-khasa, hiya ubudiyyat al-ta'a, ubudiyyat al-ta'at al-amma. This is for the general Muslims. Okay? As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَعِبَادُ الرَّحْمَنِ الَّذِينَ يَمْشُونَ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ هَوْنًا. As Allah said, and the servants of Ar-Rahman, from their attributes, and Allah mentioned this in the end of Surah Al-Furqan. Al-Furqan, He mentioned some of the attributes. They walk in the earth humbly. They're not arrogant. They're not very pompous and walking, in an arrogant manner, but they're humble. So these are who? The worshippers. Okay? Generally. Then there's Khasatul Khasa, the most specific, exclusive of the worshippers, who are the messengers. Okay? Like Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as Allah said about him, as Allah mentioned about him, that وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَى عَبْدِنَا. As Allah said, if you have a doubt about what we revealed to our servant, who is he? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he is the special servant, very exclusive type of servitude. لا يسابق وهم المرسلون كلهم في هذا القسم. هذا النوع من العبودية لا يبارون في في هذه العبودية. They cannot be competed with because they are special type of servants. So we say that shahadatain in the adhan, then we say hayya ala salah, hayya ala salah. We say 2 times hayya ala salah. Hayya يعني أقبل or أقبلوا, it means come. Hayya means come to the prayer. ثم hayya على الفلاح, hayya على الفلاح. والفلاح هو هي كلمة جامعة تتضمن النجاة من كل مكروه والفوز من كل بكل مطلوب. النجاة من كل مكروه والفوز بكل مطلوب. When we say al-falah, when we say come to the success, okay? And what does it mean? It means al-falah is to get all good, okay, that you want, and to be protected and saved from all harm. That's falah. It's a very comprehensive success, ultimate success. Because a person may get what he likes, but he still fears some harm, okay? Then he's not really had success. You have to have from both angles. Get what you want and be protected from that which you fear. Then you're successful. And the ultimate success, of course, is in the akhirah. But the salah gets us to that by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that yani, Allah will give the falah in the akhirah if person comes to the prayer. So why is it say hayya al falah after hayya al salah? لأن الفلاح يتحقق بالاتيان إلى هذه الصلاة, means that this prayer is the path to ultimate success. That's what it means. And that's why this الصلاة يستعان بها عند المصائب. This prayer is special. It's success because we are ordered to seek protection in it from the calamities. Any calamity in deen wa dunya, anything that we are afraid of. So it is falah from this angle. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يقول وَاسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ, as Allah ordered, seek protection in patience and prayer. Because a person, if he practices these two things, he will be given assistance in whatever he needs. If a person has patience, as the Prophet ﷺ said, ما يعطى أحد شيئا أوفى وخيرا من الصبر. No one has been given anything better than patience. Okay? And then the prayer is something that a person is connection with his Lord. So when a person has this connection, then he's at ease. The Prophet ﷺ, إذا حزنه أمر فزع إلى الصلاة. Therefore, the Prophet ﷺ, when anything bothered him, troubled him, he would rush to the prayer, because in it is the relaxation. Arihna ya Bilal. He used to say, Ya Bilal, give us comfort, to make the adhan, because in it is a recluse, a refuge, a sanctuary away from anything that troubles a person. Any stress he's going under, anything that he's worried about, anything he's afraid of, go to pray, and all that leaves him. Okay? And he's with his Lord. So this is where we could turn to and seek assistance from anything that bothers us. So it is the falah, it is the success. And then again we say Allahu Akbar, La ilaha illallah, repeating those, what we mentioned in the beginning of the adhan. So this is the adhan. فهو ذكر, it's a reminder. وإعلان بكبرياء الله, and it's also an announcement that Allah is the greatest. Okay? وشهادة الحق, شهادة بالحق, and also we testify the truth, بالتوحيد وبالرسالة, and the Prophet ﷺ's messengership, and the tawheed, and we call to the prayer. فالدين الإسلامي تعليماته لها هذه الميزة العظيمة. يقول الشيخ ابن عثيمين رحمه الله بهذا نعرف فضائل الإسلام. By studying these words, these are tremendous words, these are chosen by Allah for this, what we repeat 5 times a day. So if they're to be repeated so frequently, they must be very important and very precise wording. And it is, when you study the meaning, it shows that these words have been chosen very precisely to show the bounty of Islam, the greatness of Islam, the superiority of Islam. Because what is this? Compare these words, beautiful words with tremendous, vast meanings. Compare that to a bell. A bell gives none of this meaning. It has nothing like that, nor a horn, nor a fire, whatever the previous nations had. There's nothing in comparison to this adhan. Okay. Any questions to this point? They mentioned some side benefits. No.
Do we know the wisdom for why Allah picked the Sahaba Abdullah and it was
Umar,
right? To reveal the message to
No, we don't know. We don't know. Umar, of course, Umar was from the best of them, and he used to always, many times hunak muwafaqat. The scholars mention there are certain instances that Umar, that the legislation, there was agreement between what he wanted and what the legislation was coming with. So he had a yani like you could say like premonition, or you could say like a wisdom, okay, that he saw something not just in a dream, but even when he's awake. For example, the hijab, he was, longing for the revelation, and he talked about it even before it was revealed. Okay, and other than that, that I mentioned. So, but as far as Abdullah ibn Zayd, I'm not sure. Of course, there's Allah has wisdom for choosing who He chooses. But next, the benefits from this hadith that the Sheikh mentioned. Okay, the al-amal bil ru'ya. When can we act upon a dream? Okay, obviously, إذا كان الشرع يشهد لهذه الرؤيا بالصدق، فإنه يؤمل بها ويحكم بها. No doubt, when the legislation comes affirming this dream, like in this case, the Prophet ﷺ agreed with the dream of Abdullah. So no doubt, then you can apply it. What about us in our time? Okay, there's Messenger of Allah ﷺ has died, but his sunnah is alive. Okay, so if we see a dream, in it is something which maybe we forgot. Okay, it's not in the forefront of our attention, but then the dream comes to kind of remind us of this matter. Then we say, oh yeah, there's a hadith, okay, that says and affirming this dream. Then it's kind of like a reminder, and then you act upon this dream, not because of the dream, but because it is affirmed by the legislation. Okay, so مثلا, so for example, يعني what happened من لابن عباس, was reported Ibn Abbas رضي الله عنهما جاء رجل سأله عن متعة الحج. A man came to ask him about the different kinds of Hajj. There's three kinds of Hajj, and one is the best, according to the Sunnah. Ibn Abbas used to make a fatwa and advise people to do the mut'ah Hajj, yani where you go and do Umrah and Hajj in the same trip, right? And then you break between the Umrah, you do the Umrah, and then you break out of Ihram, okay? And then you go into the Hajj on the 8th day of the Hijjah. This is Hajj Tamattu. Okay, this is what we most usually do. There's also a different kind that called Qiran, where you don't break out of the Ihram. Okay, and there's Ifrad also. But the point is that Umar radiallahu an and Abu Bakr radiallahu an, they used to advise people to do the Qiran. Okay, why? They had a ijtihad. They had a reason. They did not want people or to or they wanted people to come on separate occasion to do Umrah. Basically, they didn't want people to just make يهجر للبيت يأتون مرة واحدة يحجون ويأتمرون. لا، قالوا يأتي مرة للحج ويأتي مرة للعمرة مستقلة. No, they wanted the people to come on multiple occasions to the Kaaba, visit the house of Allah. So this is what their wisdom was. So, but there's a understanding of the hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, when he made Hajj, he did Qiran. But he said, during it, he said, لو استقبلت من أمري ما استدبرت لا سقت الهدي أي لجئت متمتعا لما سقت الهدي لما سقت الهدي. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that after he made the Quran or during it, he said, if I could do it again, I would come mutamatti'an. I would have done Hajj tamattu'. Okay, that's a clear hadith, right? So maybe some Sahaba didn't know this wording, or they made ijtihad or so on. But Ibn Abbas, he got it right. Okay, the point is he got it right. He told the people do according to this. So the point is, the man then said, uh, he he went and had a dream. Later on, after Ibn Abbas told him this, رأى في المنام رجلا يقول له حج مبرور وعمرة متقبلة. That the man saw in a dream that someone is telling him, may your Hajj be good and in the best form, and may your Umrah be accepted. And then he told Ibn Abbas this, Ibn Abbas وأخبره ففرح بذلك. Then he told Ibn Abbas what he saw, and Ibn Abbas was happy because this is an affirmation, right, of the يعني تقوية. It's a strengthening of his resolve. وتثبيت في تثبيت لرؤياه أو لما جاء في الشرع أو رجحان لأن لو كان فيه خلاف لأنها حق. Also, it could be indicating to a person when there's a difference of opinion and he sees a dream, and the more evidence is siding with the one opinion, he sees the dream to affirm this. Okay, so all these are benefits of a dream. Okay, also the dream, الرؤيا الصالحة كما جاء في الحديث الرؤيا الصالحة جزء من 46 جزءا من النبوة. There's a hadith the Prophet ﷺ said, the good dream, the truthful dream, is 1 in 46 parts of prophethood. Okay, 1 in 40, so 1/46 of prophethood. The scholars explain, Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen rahimahullah, he explained, قال أول ما بدأ به الوحي على هذا الوجه أي رؤيا المنامية. أول ما جاء إليه صلى الله عليه وسلم في أول يعني بعثته جاءه على هذا الوجه. وبقي على هذا 6 أشهر إلى جاء شهر رمضان فنزل عليه الوحي. So wide explanation of this is that the dream started coming, okay, and there was only dreams as a matter of Allah's revelation for 6 months to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. 6 months, okay. Then Ramadan came the first revelation through Jibreel alayhi salam, okay. So we take 6 months and divide that into 23 years, because the revelation is 23 years. We said the hadith was that the good dream, the truthful dream, is 1 in 46 parts of the prophethood. So it takes 6 months into 23 years, okay? So that is 1 in 46, okay? Because 6 months is half a year. So it's 1/2 times 1/23 is 1/46, okay? So this is how the numbering does work out in the hadith, actually. So that's one thing. Another example about the good dream that comes to affirm and remind a person about the legislation, what's found in Quran or Sunnah, is what happened to Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah. The great scholar Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, أنه رأى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في المنام فسأله عن أشياء فمن جملة ما سأله أنه تقدم الجنائز بين أيدينا ما ندري أمسلمون هم أم كفار. So what happened, Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah, he had a dream and he saw the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in this dream, okay, and he asked him some questions. One of the questions he asked him, he said, there are funerals, processions that pass by us, that we have to pray upon them, and we don't know in reality, are these Muslims or are they disbelievers? Okay, I mean, there's some doubt about these people. They're not clear, well known to be good people, or there's some reason to doubt them. Okay, he has a doubt for their beliefs, maybe that was predominant at his time. So فقال له النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم في المنام عليك بالشرط يا محمد أو يا أحمد. He told him, make a condition, in your dua. Ya Ahmad ibn Taymiyyah. يعني اشترط فقل مثلا اللهم إن كان مؤمنا فاغفر له وارحمه واعف عنه. For example, you make a condition. Oh Allah, if this one is a believer, then forgive him and have mercy upon him. Okay? So this is a reminder that you can make conditional in your dua. يجوز التعليق في الدعاء على شرط. So it's allowed to make a condition in your dua. But we said this is already found in Sunnah or Quran. But it was just something that didn't occur in this specific situation when you have a janazah to Ibn Taymiyyah. So this dream came to remind him. Where do we know from the Quran where a person can make dua and make a condition? In the story of Yusuf alayhi salam. Not sorry, Yusuf. I'm sorry. In the story of huh? No. Which one the whale was it? No. When you make a condition, you said if this, you ask Allah if he is this, then do this. Or if it is this the case, then this. Meaning you're not sure. Yeah. Like in the istikhara, obviously there's istikhara, but in the Quran there's the al-li'an, when the husband and wife, when the wife makes a curse, for example. I'm sure the husband, he makes the accusation that the wife did adultery. Okay, in Surah Nur, and he doesn't have witnesses. So he said, well, والخامسة أن لعنة الله عليه إن كان من الكاذبين إن هنا شرط. So the man, he can make the accusation, but he has to then make a condition in a supplication against himself if he is a liar. So he testifies 4 testimonies that she did adultery. Okay, because he doesn't have witnesses. He saw it himself or something. And then the 5th time he makes dua against himself that the curse of Allah be upon him if he is a liar, if he is lying. Okay, so this is a condition. You can make a condition. So this is established in the Quran to make conditions, and she can ويدرأ عن نفسها عنها العذاب أن تشهد بالله, that she can also testify in response. She can also testify, no, he's a liar. Okay, he's a liar. I didn't commit adultery. And the 5th one, والخامسة أن غضب الله عليها غضب الله عليها إن كان من الصادقين. And then the 5th time, she says, and the anger of Allah be upon me, the woman, if he is telling the truth. If he is telling the truth. So this is like a condition. And that's in dua. That's the question Ibn Taymiyyah had in dua. But otherwise, not the condition is not just in dua. We can make a conditional dua. Also, we can make condition in the rulings, like a judge can make a condition. That's what I meant, Surah Yusuf. Surah Yusuf, the man, he made a condition in his judgment. وَشَهِدَ شَاهِدٌ مِنْ أَهْلِهَا إِنْ كَانَ قَمِيصُهُ قُدَّ مِنْ قُبُلٍ فَصَدَقَتْ وَهُوَ مِنَ الْكَاذِبِينَ. So he made a judgment. He said, if his shirt has been torn from the front, then she is truthful, and he is a liar. But if his shirt has been torn from the back, then he is truthful and she is a liar. Okay? Then she has lied and he is truthful. Anyway, this is like just a side note. So the point is, when it comes to a dream, it can come as like a tanbih or tathbit or taqwiyah على صحة ما ذهب إليه الإنسان, that just a reminder or a strengthening of his resolve. Whatever comes in the sunnah, it'll come in the dream. Okay. وأما القسم الثاني إذا كانت مخالفا للحق فهي مرفوضة. يعني لا يؤمل بها ولا يجوز العمل بها. The opposite is if the dream comes in opposition to the legislation. If it comes from something like something haram or something, a false belief, he sees it in the dream, then he has to reject it. Why? Because هذا من الشيطان. This is from the shaitan. He's trying to misguide you. So shaitan may come, and he may say, I'm Allah. He may say, I'm Allah in the dream. He may say, I'm the messenger of Allah. But it doesn't matter. He's a liar because it depends what he's saying. For example, what happened, it's reported from Abdul-Qadir al-Jailani رحمه الله فإنه كان سليم العقيدة ليس كما يعني ينسب إليه أو ما يعمله المنتسبين إليه من الصوفية. هم على عقائد فاسدة لكن هو نفسه كان على صحيح العقيدة. So Abdul Qadir al-Jailani, he had a good aqidah. And he's free from whatever people attribute to him. They just, lie upon him and from the Sufis. But he saw in a dream. He رأى في المنام نورا عظيما خاطبه منه مخاطب يقول له من الآن ليس عليك الصلاة. أنت وصلت إلى يعني مرتبة فليس عليك أن تصلي. He saw in a dream a light like coming from the corner of the room, and there was like a voice coming and said, Abdul Qadir, you've reached a level now you don't have to pray anymore. And maybe he said he was Allah or something. And he said, قال له كذبت لكنك شيطان. He said, you're a liar. No, you're the shaitan. I don't believe you. And then the light went away. So he rejected this dream because it came in opposition to what he knows from Quran and Sunnah. So that's how we deal with the dreams. Okay. Also, could be a dream that doesn't have anything affirming. First of all, we should know, and no dream can come with a new rule, no new legislation. اليوم أكملت لكم دينكم. The religion is complete, so no one can see a dream like Tabligh. They had the man who founded Tablighi Jama'at al-Tabligh. He saw a dream for a new tafsir for the ayah that says أنتم كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. You're the best ummah that was sent for the people. No, he said أخرجت بمعنى الخروج. يعني أنتم تخرجون من بلد إلى أخرى. هذا تفسير جديد ما كان عند السلف. أخرجت يعني بعثت يعني أرسلت للناس. No, when it says Allah said you're the best ummah sent for the people, meaning created, basically you're here. You don't have to go out and travel to a distant land to make a khuruj. No, he said he saw a dream that said, no, the new tafsir for this ayah, that means I have to make khuruj. I'm supposed to leave my family, leave my children, and not take care of my obligations, and I have to make khuruj and go to a different, all the way across the world, or even. So this, is rejected. Even if he says he saw a dream, saw the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is a new thing, bid'ah, that we cannot depend on dreams. A new type of worship or new understanding. A person may see a dream though that is not related to legislation, but like for example, a dream that he saw something, somewhere, okay, or someone told him that there's something in some place, and then he actually finds it there. He goes and sees it. I mean, this could be some type of truth in this, that some information is coming from Allah to help him, and he saw it in a dream. This could be, it could happen. Like a karama. It's like a gift that Allah gives to his awliya or whoever. Allah can give that gift in a dream, and this is established also. If there's kana laha shawahid, there has to be some physical proof that he finds, that affirms this dream. Okay, it has to be some reality to it, to be a dream of that he can depend on, some truth. Okay, so إن شاء الله سنكتفي بهذا القدر ونواصل يعني الكلام في الأذان في درس قادم إن كان في الأمور بقية. We'll stop there إن شاء الله. Any questions on this what we mentioned on the first hadith? Then إن شاء الله we'll continue next class. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين وجزاكم الله خيرا أجمعين.